Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for stopping by again. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I want to apologize, man, again. But I was supposed to have been traveling yesterday. So I'm going to travel later this week. There's Jacob Tanja. He said, hey, Cal, class today. Yeah, class will be in session today. It's going to be a good one. I'm going all in today. I'm shook, man. I'm fired up, man, about what's happening over here concerning those two Americans. You know, if you want to get entertained, go somewhere else. Because if you keep getting entertained, certainly as it pertains to the Philippines, you're going to end up getting embalmed. We can talk about dating after 100 some other time. Shout out to my 4 quarter members. What's up, Jeffrey Chatter? I see Ray on here. Yeah, it's Ray. He says it's a beautiful day. Yeah, they're all beautiful. What's up, Roger? You know, it's crazy how much we talk about dating when that's the least of your worries over here. And haven't I been saying that for 6 years? Why do y'all keep going around and around in circles about dating, about women, when that's the least of your worries? You should be worrying about something more important. See, I'm going to step on some toes today, but I'm going to talk about the things that matter, man. What's up, Paragraphics, Gregory? My old heads. I saw where Lindsey Graham passed away. We all going to die. I'm not going to celebrate anybody's death. Life is too precious. What's up, Doubtful Genius? You still here in the Philippines? Any new viewers and subscribers join us today? I want to say welcome. And anybody catching this on replay, I'm a little early because I'm fired up today, man. You know, enough is enough, guys. We've gotten too damn comfortable over here in the Philippines. I know I have. No, I'm not panicking, but it's time that we become more vigilant, man. We're sitting ducks over here, believe it or not. And y'all playing around. Y'all don't realize everything's at stake over here. You keep on chasing a woman. You guys are wandering around like zombies, like you never seen a woman before. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. That's why I don't play when I'm behind the camera. I don't play. Okay? The thing that really troubles me about these murders, these killers were too damn comfortable with the victims. Now imagine this man in Cebu land, he's sitting in his own house, minding his own business, and these guys burst through his door. They must have known something, guys. I looked it up. 55% of victims knew their perpetrators. Over 55%, according to the FBI. You know, I feel some kind of way about that. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Why are you so comfortable kicking in my door? You don't know if I got an AK-47 or whatever it is in there. What's up, Sheldon? What's up, Kamal? You don't know? And then the young man that got robbed and killed up in Quezon province. Like, dude, you so comfortable that you're going to circle back after I done resisted and ran you off? You're going to circle back around and come back and kill me? You too comfortable, man. This is what gets me, guys. You know. He said, but I follow rule number 1 and be vigilant of my surroundings. You know, we can rant and rave all we want. We still don't have an answer for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But these guys were targeted. These guys wasn't in the wrong place in the wrong time. This wasn't no random shit going on. These people were too comfortable. I'm just telling you. But the peso is 61.70. as we start this live stream. What's up, Angelo? I shouted you out the other day on my video. 61.7, man. It's going to go up because it's full out war again. They don't know what they want to do. Everything's getting ready to turn topsy-turvy. I'm going to give you the 360 whether guys push back or not. I can't just talk about the good stuff, man. I gave y'all a video a long time ago when the war first started, warning you that shit's getting ready to hit the fan. Y'all don't understand something. Let me be clear right here, what I said on the video. With less and less South Koreans and less Chinese coming to the Philippines, the bad guys are going to start turning to us for their licks and their easy money, guys, okay? We've taken over the #1 tourist position in the Philippines, whether you realize it or not, okay? South Koreans and Chinese, they left in droves because they were getting robbed and killed and no one was being held accountable. I'm trying to scare you today. I'm trying to scare you awake. It's too much dating information. That shit has no intrinsic value, guys, at all, other than to entertain you. And if you keep on getting entertained, like I said before, you're going to end up getting embalmed. He said, okay, this is why you shouldn't let anyone into your home, especially overseas. Ain't that right, Cal? Well, we have to be more vigilant. It's not like strangers are showing up at my house. But when it comes to harming people, it's talking about chasing these women, following them into these shady areas, man. Merlin just told my little buddy, man, I treat him like a son. He came over here. Merlin found out where his girlfriend lives, up there in the mountains, where the MPA is fighting each other, fighting the government officials. She said, don't ever take him back up there. You know good and damn well they fighting up there. See, the women aren't going to tell you. They're so proud. They want you to meet their family and stuff like that. And to all you guys that keep on getting in my comments, messaging me, oh, it happens everywhere. Well, damn it, I'm not everywhere. I'm in the Philippines, man. I left everywhere to come here to escape that shit. I hope I didn't jump on the frying pan into the fire. Y'all don't realize, man, how vulnerable we are over here. The bad guys got weapons. Okay, we put our lives into the hands of Filipino people. I'm hoping and praying that they're the warm and welcoming folks that I think they are. Otherwise, I'm shit out of luck. You know, we let our guard down, guys. We travel around here, walk around here like we own the place. I told y'all didn't even know. This is my third time telling you. They were going to declare martial law in Negros Oriental, which is where Dumaguete is located, because of the violence and the murders there. Look it up if you think I'm lying. But do you think those bloggers down there, man, all they talking about is dating? You know, they probably didn't know themselves. But we take it for granted. We're worried about whether or not we can own a damn gun. On land, you should be worried about whether you can own a firearm or something that's going to protect your stupid ass. Because what happened to those two guys can happen to any of you guys out there right now. Okay? At any time. Okay? Just let's hope and pray that somebody doesn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed and decide, yeah, I'm tired of you fooling with Filipino women and this and that, and take your ass out. Okay? But it's not time to panic, but we need to be more vigilant, man. We need to start asking the right type of questions. Remember, the silver lining that's going to come out of here is that you guys are going to at least hesitate before you sell everything and move over here. Because those two guys are you. That's who they are. Under no circumstances would you be any better off in that situation than they were? The killers were too comfortable. But you can do whatever you want to do. You know, he said I shouldn't wear jewelry up. I wouldn't. I mean, why are you showing up over here? See, this is what I wrote down here. I didn't say it on my video. I meant to say it on my video. For people to think that we're rich over here is not a flex, man. That's dangerous. That could cost you your life. Remember, you're living in one of the poorest countries. I'm talking about the poverty in the world. I'm talking about exempt from. I'm not including the war zones like Gaza and all those places. Look, there's people over here that, you know, you want to use that everywhere. There's bad guys everywhere, so they're over here too. Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. This is what we need to be worried about, Raymond. He said foreigners can't own guns, but law says nothing about owning a knife. But we're not even worried about that. We spend too much time worrying about things that don't really matter. You're going to come over here and build a house on a tourist visa anyway. So why are you worried about whether you can own land or not? You get married to these women and then you don't even apply for the 13A. You can't afford it. Well, you shouldn't even be getting married if you can't afford it. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Yeah, hit the like button. He said, don't even wear fake gold. They don't know it's fake till it's too late. But that being said, I always wondered, is it so bad wearing a wedding ring or something? Well, you know, a wedding ring is different. But we just need to be more vigilant than we are, man. I see guys, man, and you know I've done it myself. We travel, man, like we own this place. We don't know the language. We don't know who's plotting against us, why they're plotting. We don't know the good guys from the bad guys. We don't even know who the bad guys are. This is all I'm saying. We need to start asking more questions. The right type of questions. He said, can we wear a necklace or a decent watch? But why would you want to do that? It's hot as hell over here. Okay? That gold's going to get hot around your neck. Who you trying to impress anyway? It's not a flex. I mean, that's a small sacrifice to make. Just to hold up. Because you know Americans think, oh, yeah, well, I got the right, this is my watch. I worked hard for it. I can wear it anywhere I want. Okay. And you'll end up like that young guy up there. They knew him, man. Okay, like most of the victims know the perpetrators. They were too comfortable. These guys circled back around to him. Okay, they must have known he wasn't a threat some kind of way. They're watching us. They know you. You don't think the people here really know me, where I live and stuff like that. That's what's so scary about it. My life is literally in their hands. Because what can I do if they show up with these old, homemade guns? Because they're going to shoot you if you resist. Give them your damn money, man, or whatever you got in your pocket. You shouldn't even be carrying that much money around anyway. I've advised you over and over the years why you weren't carrying that type of money around with you. It's safe in your Airbnb. It's safe in your hotel. You guys carrying around 10 and 15, 20,000. It's a fortune over here. Yeah, but if you have a chance to use it, you're going to bring a knife to a gunfight? Ray and W Secret to Success, is that what you doing? Is that what you telling my viewers? To bring a knife to a gunfight? You guys are crazy. He said I didn't receive it. Probably because I canceled my live stream last time. You know, YouTube is funny like that. He said you're not going to get robbed unless you flaunt it or go in areas you shouldn't go. which is a lot of places, because we just wander around like we're at home. I've done it so many times, man. But what touched me about these murders, these murderers are too comfortable. And both of these guys, I put myself in their situation. Is what you should do. There's just no way around it. But we don't want to listen, man. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all think y'all know everything it is to know about the Philippines. You don't know shit about the Philippines. Certainly what you need to know. He said, LOL, before I had my Philippine bank account, I transferred 120,000 pesos to myself and was nervous as fuck walking out of the mall. Yeah, with that amount of cash. Look, it happened in Dumaguete. The guy went to the bank because a lot of the transactions here, when you buy houses and stuff like that, are building house, it's cash. But he withdrew, I want to say, 400. Well, no, it was $40,000. So I think it was like 2 million pesos at that time. And I'd be damned if the teller didn't call her boyfriend and alert him. And the man ended up getting killed. They end up catching both of them. This is the problem that you up against. Yeah, I'm just saying, why wear that stuff anyway? You guys, this is just safety 101 when you come to a country like this, man, where, it's hard enough for the masses. They look at you like you're rich. That's not a flex, man. But show some respect to people over here. We sit there and we complain about every damn thing, talk down to people like you at home. Not realizing that one slight could cost you your life. Okay, what they consider a slight, not what you consider. Oh, because you're not doing anything. The food was warm. Oh, you shorted me my change. And you want to make a scene about it. And get your damn head blown off. That 73-year-old man did something. Okay? It could have been his wife. Who knows? They didn't harm her. They didn't touch her. They burst through this man's door, shot him in the head, and left. If you don't think that can happen to you, then you better not come over here then. Because he can. But let me say this, guys. I want to apologize. I forgot to say this. That fire in Bangkok, man, at that bar, it killed all those people, man. They said over 200 people were in there. I've never seen flames like that. One lady had made it out, man, and then all of a sudden she stopped and caught on fire. And I'm like, maybe she was in shock. The lady made it out, but then all of a sudden stopped at the entrance. You could see her hair on fire. When I read it, it was 27 people dead and dozens wounded. Yeah, he said, my Sawa, meaning his wife, thinks I'm not cautious enough to trust him. Most of us are. We let our guards down. We've gotten much too comfortable. Listen, guys, we don't hear nothing else over here. We're sitting ducks over here. Okay? This is why you keep your head down. You respect people over here. From the lowest man on the totem pole to the highest, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know the bad guys from the good guys. Hell, you don't even know who the bad guys are. But yeah, man, my sincerest condolences go out to those people, man. That's got to be a terrible way to die. And they said a lot of the people were locked in the bathroom. The people that died. That smoke's going to get you before the fire. But that's a hell of a way to die. I don't believe this is it, but it could be. Who knows? I was just asking the question. I was just starting the conversation because this is what we need to talk about more. Not dating after 100. You're not going to have a problem dating over here. Okay? Let me say that. There's nothing else that no one told you about Filipinos. We've exhausted every angle, guys. These people are playing in your face when they make those videos like that. It's entertainment, I get it. But if you keep on getting entertained, you're going to end up getting embalmed. The information you really need, you're not getting it. That's why I make these videos. I know you're not going to click on them because it's not a woman on my thumbnail showing half her butt and everything. You guys are sick, man. You act like you never seen a woman before. You come in over here, you hypnotize. That's why you easy targets. Maybe this will stop you from just running over here, meeting women you don't know. Trusting them, following them around. We've all done it. Doesn't make it right. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Aubrey? He said, Cal, it's a good thing Marilyn has that 3-piece and a biscuit combo on lock from the boxing lesson. She's the first line of defense against any troubles. She don't have anything to worry about, guys. This is why I'm on the Filipino vloggers so tough. We give them a pass. Anytime one of us gets murdered, none of them talk about it. They go quiet. It's crickets. All they want is your money, man, and your clicks and views. They don't give a damn, guys, they don't really give a damn about us. Okay? Or should they? You know, for all the support and shit we give them, you're damn right. To whom much is given, much is expected. They go silent because they know you stupid. They know all you want to talk about is dating. We've exhausted dating over here. I saw a video come across my screen from a popular vlogger. What no one told you about dating Filipinos. Man, come on, guys. You guys got to be more creative than that. Okay, 1,000 cuts that I talked about on my other video. Because Rashard, my buddy, said, Cal, hell, you put out 3 videos. That was the first one I made. That was the only one I planned on putting out. It was when I heard about these murders that I got shook and I made those 2 videos. But remember, life is happening all around us if you're paying attention. I can make 10 videos every day. I've got a creative mind. But I'm not going to talk about 1,000 cuts. If I see one more video talking about death by 1,000 cuts, ever since Gio said it, every time Dick and Harry over here and Chad is talking about 1,000 cuts, it's if it's one thing after another every day over here. That's why I made the point to tell you I didn't suffer any cuts yesterday. It was a good day. I'm probably not going to suffer any cuts today. You know, it's too much at stake, man, to be playing. That's why I don't be playing on here. Go somewhere else with all that. Go to Sick Grandpa and Smooth Tyrone and all those guys. They don't give you any value. While you sitting there paying attention, they pick in your damn pocket. And the Filipino vloggers, they want to talk about the same things we talk about. Look, lady, we know that. Talk about something that only you know. That only Filipinos know that we don't know. That's what's going to help us. You're 22 years old. You going to tell me about dating. The fuck you know about dating, lady? You don't know a damn thing. You playing in my face. Okay? I'm just telling you, man. They get a damn pass. Ain't none of them going to make a video talking about what we need to be doing over here to help us. Yeah, I'm preaching today. Okay? Well, it doesn't matter if you live here 100% or not. This is stuff you need to know. Do you really think that 35-year-old American was living here full time? Let's at least talk about it. Let's at least talk about it. Okay? Yeah, man, it was a bad fire over there, man, in a nightclub. Popular nightclub in northern Bangkok, man. Killed a lot of people. I'm sure it was some foreigners caught up in there. They said it was something about the electrical shortage with the aircon. I'm going to give you the 360. I'm going to give you the 360. I'm going to talk about the things that matter, among other things. So this is a good idea. Also, a guy, I don't know who it was, but he said, keep an extra wallet with, 15 or 2,000 pesos in it. Give them something that's going to make them happy so they can go on about their business. Guys, these men over here will kill you. They don't have a problem shooting you in your head. This is what shook me. I'm like, both of these guys were shot in the head. But we think, look how big I am. I work out all the time. The Filipino man is little. Man, y'all better put some respect on Filipino men. Okay? They've got home field advantage. You do not understand the language. And they don't have a problem taking you out. Remember when that American, that UFC fighter got killed? See, that shook me, man, because it was far too many Filipinos that thought he got what he deserved. And I was like, holy cow. What news are y'all watching? This man's just in there, young guy, fairly attractive, in great shape. The women was probably flirting with him, but it was far too many people online over here that thought he got what he deserved. A friend of mine, who used to be security and the chauffeur for a friend of mine over here, he sent me something, man. It made me so mad. I'm like, why are you sending me this, man? Like it's a message to us. That man that wasn't doing nothing over there. He was at the nightclub. But they were talking about Elliot Eastman and all those guys. At any time, guys, they can take you out over here. But hopefully some of you guys are going to start paying more attention to the vlogs that really matter, even if you don't want to. I would go from A to Z. He said, how much money, what's the most money I should walk around with? Okay, first of all, when you don't just be wandering around out here, have a destination. And then you're going to know, okay, if you're going to the mall, then what are you going to the mall for? Are you going to buy some shoes? Are you going to buy some clothes? What are you doing there? Take enough money to buy whatever you're going to buy. If it's just lunch, then take enough. And for your grab and whatever it is. But have a destination. First of all, we're wandering around, and walking around like we really know where we are. What's up, I Love LaChon? I mean, it's just crazy, man, when you think about it. When you think about that, man. But you guys, y'all want to be entertained. Yeah, this is true. He said we get complacent. Keep your head on a swivel. Break your routines. Get away, establishing a daily pattern. And that's what we've done. Everybody wants to sell everything they got and move to Dumageddon, not realizing, man, Negros Oriental, they were getting ready to put it on lockdown because of all the murders and violence going on up there, over there. And you want to talk about Mindanao. See, that's another thing. We don't pay attention to the State Department, travel.state.gov. We think we know more than them. You guys are relying on people like me. I don't know shit. Bypassing the real pertinent information on those sites that could save your life. He said, you're the only one who's truly looking out for us. Much thanks. You're right, man, because I know what's at stake. You would think more vloggers would be talking about not just the murders, but their concerns. They're not concerned. So I guess they figure, well, like me, if I don't think about it, it's not going to happen to me. We're very vulnerable over here. That's the one thing you need to know. Don't worry about owning land. Okay, don't worry about, what I need to get married, Cal, to start a business. All the other bullshit y'all worry about. How you going to stay safe over here 8,000 miles from home? It's our worst nightmare. It's mine. You don't get any more innocent than this man was in his own home, man, his own business. Oh, man, if you're not concerned about that, man, you ought to be. Maybe it was a woman he's chasing down over here that set him up like that. Who knows? Those killers were comfortable enough to kick his door down and shoot him in the head and leave. They didn't even take any damn thing. They didn't even rob the man. Yeah, sitting there want to talk about a damn dating. But you ask one of the Filipino bloggers, what's going on there? What happened here? Because they know. They're on the inside, guys. They can tell you. I can't tell you. They can look at that situation and know what happened. Because Merlin started giving me, the minute I told her about it last night, she started giving me, scenarios and stuff. Well, it's not that. It's not, don't panic. This is not something that happens every day. But the fact that 2 Americans were killed over the weekend in 2 different parts of the Philippines, both shot in the head. This is a cause for discussion. That's all I'm saying. The Philippines still is a beautiful place. But you better know what you're walking into. We just get too comfortable over here, man. They really lull you to sleep. Yeah, we're coming, it's no reason to panic, but let's have this discussion, guys. Let's have this discussion more than once every time somebody gets killed, because that's the only time we really talk about it. Everything else is dating. Dating after 100. Who gives a fuck, man? You ain't got no problems over here dating and debating whether or not you're an old man or not. Yeah, you old. Okay, I don't care what your woman says. You old. And you know you old. He said, yeah, thanks for the information, Unc. I just recently turned 36. That could have been me, Uncle Cal. Any of us. But we're so comfortable. We think everybody likes us. Oh, everybody's friendly over here. I'm not being watched for real. So I'm pulling out all this money at the Save More and at the restaurant. I try to pay with my credit card wherever I can. Okay, I'm not trying to flash no money. But that could have been any of us. That's what's so scary, man. The man was in his house, sitting on his couch. But we certainly need to be more humble over here, man. Guys walking like you're 10 foot tall. The first piece of advice I was ever given before I came to the Philippines was in a chat room. This is what this guy said. He said, don't show up the men over there. He said, yeah, you're going to be walking around with a nice, attractive young woman on your arm. But, act like you've been there before. Don't flaunt it. This is what we do. We flaunt the shit, man. Don't show these people respect. Think because you got a little bit more money and maybe your lifestyle is a little bit better, then you're better than them. No, you're not. You're no better than them. You don't love your family no more than they do. Your faith is no stronger and all of that stuff. We don't even try to understand the Philippines, the people, the culture. You just come over here for the woman. That's all you do. And that's a big mistake. That's probably what got that man killed. 73 years old. Like, damn, man. Guy's in his golden years. He's in retired as an educator at Silliman University here, one of the top universities in the Philippines. And for him to just kill him like that, guys, if you're not concerned about that, then you dead already. They just ain't put the dirt over you, man. That should concern you. Okay? You need to start vetting the woman that's laying next to you. Are you capable of that? Are you capable of doing that to me? Can I be so ornery and nasty that you would do that to me? Because we don't even know when we're slighting people. We don't even know when we're disrespecting them because we don't even try to know. Just because you don't think you're disrespecting people, calling them out in public, oh, my food is warm, and all the other crazy stuff that we be doing over here, man, you got to watch that. You got to watch that. I don't care what nobody tells you. I'm telling you. Dealing with people, complaining and holding people to the same damn standard that you do in America. We're extremists in America. We fucked up over there. You're not going to know it because you're stewing in the shit over there. You got to get outside of America for some years and look in to see how crazy we are about certain things. We come over here and try to hold these people to the same standard. He said, Cal, I think most of these Filipino vloggers are just reading off a script. American dudes are probably telling them what to talk about and how to say it. Well, it's time that they stop then. Okay, if they want my support, if they want my super chats and PayPals and all that stuff, we've made celebrities out of these women. We've made them superstars. We certainly made them rich over here. And you tell me that you can't give me one tip? You can't give me any type of information that has some type of essential value that's going to make my life better over here? All you're going to keep talking about is the same thing, older women or younger women. Where to meet Filipinos? What a Filipino likes, what she don't like. Oh, I didn't think this was possible. And all the stupid shit you see. And you're going to say, Cal, it's entertainment. Guys, if all you're going to do is keep getting entertained, you're going to end up getting embalmed. You're going to end up dying over here. They've got information I don't have or any other foreign blogger have. They're on the inside. Maybe they don't want to give us the information. Maybe they don't want us to know. Now, this is a great question that foreigners ask. And remember, I just talked about this. The Filipinos, they know it's something else going on here. He says, it's kind of strange that they unalive the Pinay's boyfriend, that was a husband, and did not harm his girlfriend. Sounds like some kind of a setup, just my opinion. Well, anybody with, 1 ounce of brain left on the spinal cord is going to say, hey, what's going on here for real? Is that angle even going to be investigated? Well, you say, okay, I'm in there, I'm kicked back. It's a Sunday night now. I'm retired. I'm 73. I can't hurt a flea for real. And you're going to kick my door down and shoot me in the head and leave? You didn't take my wallet. You didn't take nothing. And left the woman unharmed? Crazy, man. You guys need to be concerned about that. Okay? And then the guy up in Quezon City, that the province of Quezon, Lucena City, is about 130 miles south of Manila. He resisted him. He fought him off. They were comfortable enough to circle back on him. Now, what was he doing just standing there? Look, when I fought him off, I'm looking for some kind of, hey, let me in or something. Where's the police? I'm not blaming the victim. Something, man, it just doesn't feel right with these two murders, man. That's why it's got me so shook, man. I can't get through to y'all, though. You think that's why, fact or fantasy was going to be my video the other day, man. It's like, see, I know how to think for myself. If you remember, my video was fact or fantasy. Okay, the two Philippines. Some of you guys, all you want to hear about is the fantasy. You don't want to hear about the facts. that's going to make your fantasy come true over here. The real Philippines is so much better than the fantasy. And then I was going to talk about the hole in her face. Well, that can wait till tomorrow. Today I'm talking about the hole in his head. Those guys were shot in the head. We'll talk about that other foolishness later. Yeah, supposedly over a woman. We don't know. Okay, we don't know because whatever happened to the case, I don't think they do it like that. You know, once they cover the crime, that's it. It's like they don't really cover the trial. Excuse me. How many years he got? But it doesn't matter. The thing is, it just kind of surprised me that because the guy who killed him was like a popular rapper or something. But you can tell you guys over and over and over, if you fight one Filipino, you got to fight them all. Okay, they're going to take the side of the local over you. Okay, for some reason, they thought he was justified in doing that. And they thought that the foreigner, the American man, got what he deserved. And I was just kind of shocked about that. I kind of filed that away in my head. You know, what's up, Michael? But people get mad if you talk about the facts over here. It's like they pick and choose who they want to put out the information. It's my delivery that gets people shook. Okay, it's my passion that gets people shook. I know what's at stake over here. Everything for us. Everything for us. And it's like they misinterpret that. I'm not putting down Filipinos. I'm not putting down the country. I'm talking to my foreign viewers, which are 90% of the people watching me, who understand what I'm saying, who get my sarcasm and everything like that. See, Filipinos, they have a support group in America. I'm going to keep it on America. I don't know anybody else in other countries. When they get over there, there's people who give them the 411 on what life is like in America. They just don't have YouTube channels. And they look after the best interests of their sisters and brothers over there. They're really, really tight. They help them get jobs, relationships, apartments, and everything. But we don't do it. We fight against each other over here. Hey, JJ XXL, thanks for that super chat. He said, I'm from Los Angeles, California, but even walking around Makati and BGC at night is dangerous. Kind of shisty. I got love for the Philippines, but Cal's right. Be safe. This is not the USA. This is what we thinking, though, JJ. We're so comfortable over here. If you don't believe me, watch the foreigners that you see over here. Certainly Americans, man. We talking all crazy. We act like we're at home. Hey, First Sergeant Horn, and I apologize for all the other times I was calling you ISG, man. You know, I didn't know. Thanks for the super chat. He said, money is oftentimes the root of all crimes. Most women operate off emotions, and the possibility of her setting you up can never be discounted. You know, you're exactly right. I think Ray said this. He messaged me on WhatsApp. He said, no, it might not be him. I think it was Derek Casanaras. Somebody said this. No, I can't remember, but they were saying this. They said maybe he said, always be worth, no, Jeffrey Tatter said this. Sorry, Jeffrey. He said, always be worth more alive than dead. And I said, well, the problem was by him being 73 and everything, maybe he was worth more dead than alive. See, if you ever get to that point, guys, you're in trouble over here. Okay, always be worth more alive than dead. See, I've already told Maryland, look, you ain't got to kill me for this stuff. It's all yours. Do not kill me to get this. This house is yours. Okay, the guest house is yours. Everything is yours. Okay, I never bought any of this stuff for ownership. I just want to be able to enjoy it while I'm here. Do not kill me, because guess what? I pay the bills. I'm worth more alive than dead. Okay, and that better be your goal over here. So you give the woman everything up front like a lot of you are doing. You're doing it too fast. She's like, well, hell, why I need this old, crusty ass, rusty ass man around here for? That's always trying to blow my back out. See? Because a lot of these women, they do like older men because they don't think you can do anything in the bed. And then when you surprise them, they shocked. They're like, well, hell, I might as well be with Dong. This old fool's trying to blow out my tailpipe every night. But if you give them everything up front, you got to keep them honest. With you trusting, like that man said earlier. You don't even know the women. But like I said, there's a silver lining in all this. You guys you're gonna learn today. Okay, you're gonna start paying attention to a lot of what these vloggers are talking about over here when it comes to safety and different things like that. Y'all walk around, man. A lot of you guys are 50s, 60s, 70s. Like you never seen a pussy before. Hypnotized by the pussy. Y'all crazy, man. It's going to get you in trouble, man. It's going to get you in big trouble here. Getting on planes, flying over here to see strangers. He said, the girl I was with in Boracay was sending back cold food. Yeah. Now I see she was putting my life in danger. Now she was fronting. The Filipinos, they eat cold food. They're one of the only Asian countries over here that eat cold food. I ain't talking about chilled food. I'm talking about cold food. Maryland, we can eat for lunch and it's left over for dinner. They don't reheat it. So she's fronting. Yeah, he says, home invasion, and they took his life. No, they didn't take no belongings. The article I read said they shot him in the head and left. They didn't say nothing about taking no belongings. Hey, what's up, Jamar? Yeah, hit the like, guys. But this is another good word for it, Thomas. He said you can't bring that carefree lifestyle, really that carefree thinking, to the Philippines. He said, be aware of your surroundings and watch what you do and say. It's easy to be lulled to sleep over here because majority of people are really, really nice here. And thankfully they are, or the land will be littered with foreigners, with clueless foreigners. Because we don't know anything about this country. No, I'm just saying the insurance would be the house. Okay, maybe he's married. Maybe if he dies, because it's happened before. When you're married over here, see, we go all in. We make them. We give them all the secrets about. Okay, you're gonna get my pension, and we make sure that happens. It's happened here in St. Carlos City, but under different circumstances. The woman was with the older man. He got sick and died, and she got his pension. And now she's over here with a woman, living her best life. You know, maybe, first of all, a lot of guys that come over here, certainly Americans, I've talked about this before, we're low down, we're ornery, and we treat people like shit over here. And at some point, the woman gets fed up with it. And say, okay, I know what I can do. I can pay somebody 5,000 pesos to blow your damn brains out, and they're not going to investigate it. So there's something to file away in your stupid ass head. Okay? That all it takes is 5,000 pesos to get your dumb ass blown away over here. That's all. Yeah, embalmed. Everybody wants to be entertained. Sick grandpa, smooth Tyrone, all these guys, H Bachelor cool. They're not giving you any information of intrinsic value that's essential to your life over here. Okay? Keep on getting entertained. And you're going to end up getting embalmed. Nothing good happens after midnight. No, I'm not getting through, guys. I promise. Right now, I am. He said, you getting through, bro? Yeah, right now. Because I've got your attention. But now, after this live stream is over with, and here they come in the bikinis, that wave of bikinis, you don't forget everything I said. The peekaboo and all that stuff. Remember, when you get off that plane, guys, it takes the toughest men down. And she's standing there with her bag, with everything in it. The skinny jeans, the booty shorts, the long flowing hair, the smooth skin, the okay top. You're done. You've never seen anything like that before. But we need to be more vigilant now. We need to say, okay, that's only part of the story over here, of what's going on over here. Y'all think that's the whole story. Remember what was Paul Harvey? The rest of the damn story. He said that the 73-year-old Bauhaus, we're just going by the news. They said they broke down the door in his house. Okay, by him living up there in Cebuland, which a lot foreigners have been building up in Cebuland for years upon years upon years. I met my wife in September 2010. We went up there September 2010. I took her to see her grandmother that she hadn't saw in years. And they were building up there then. But she told me the story about the grandma. She said, it's not safe for foreigners up here. She said, because the NPA is here, they took over my grandmother's house before. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, they made her and my uncles and aunties move out. They moved in, so they had to come to Zamboanga and live with us. This is a true story. But we go up there just because you see other foreigners up there. Oh, it's okay. All it takes, guys, is for you to get unlucky one time. You could be going on and on and on, and then that one day, yeah, see? I just read the article. It said the 73-year-old was living with a 34-year-old woman. It was a setup by the woman. How could they ever prove that? Anybody with just one morsel of brain still hanging off their damn spinal cord could figure that out. Like they never even bothered the woman. They wouldn't even worry about leaving no witnesses behind. They didn't take nothing. Like, wow, it's just crazy. Y'all don't have to be Perry Mason to see what's going on here. Okay? They're too comfortable, man. Killing us over here. Just listen up to this stuff, man. It's not no joke. But they want to make a video dating after 100. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself, man. I get it, though. I get it. He said, I was thinking that the only dangerous area was where Elliot Eastman was. Shit. Let me tell you something, man. When I lived in Zamboanga City, it was worse than where he was. Okay, I'm talking about the real bad guys was in Zamboanga City. This guy, Elliot Eastman, was warned by the police, Dennis. They told him, look, man, you need to leave. You done got hooked up into a situation you don't know nothing about. You coming into these people's community, okay, fooling with their women. You don't know what you're doing. There's been word that they're going to do something to you. Not the bad guys, bad guys. The bad guys were in Zamboanga. Okay, he was a victim of jealousy. Okay, and they probably thought he's disrespecting their religion and stuff like that because you got to convert to Islam or she's got to leave Islam to fool with them women over there. But they never really said, remember? Once they kill your ass and you dead and gone, to wherever you go when you die, nothing's ever done. They never forward the information on to us that may help us. Like, well, what did he do? I'm tired of speculating. Like, what did that man do to cause him to lose his life? But they had already warned him. He said, I have to say I was very comfortable over there, and that wasn't a good thing. If you're going to be uncomfortable, if you're going to, have your antennas up and your guards up in America, why wouldn't you have them up here? You're 8,000 miles from home. We're too comfortable here. It doesn't mean you can't have a good time here. It doesn't mean that the Philippines isn't the Philippines. It is. But when you see 2 Americans getting killed over the weekend, both shot in the head, and you can put yourself in either of their shoes, man, you need to be concerned, man. You need to be asking your favorite vlogger, why aren't you talking about this, man? More than just making a video giving you the facts of the case. Like, aren't you concerned? I'm concerned about that. But I've known for a long time, man, that it's possible. We're so vulnerable, guys. We're sitting ducks. There's nothing you can do. You're worried about owning land. You should be worried about owning some type of weapon to protect your ass. If they come in here like they did that man, what can you do? What can I do? Nothing? He said low-key cold pizza back in the day wasn't so bad. Yeah, you got to be alert, guys. Just know, man, that you're not at home. And don't ever forget where you are. You're in the Philippines, and this is what we do. We forget that we're in a place where them thinking you're rich is not a flex. It's very dangerous. So stop trying to impress people over here. Okay, it's impressive enough that you come over here. That's pretty damn impressive. Okay, imagine you're paying, what does it cost now for a round trip? Just say $1,200, $1,500. They convert that to pesos and they say, damn, that's a lot of money for him to just get on a plane and come over here. That's the basic that you're doing. Then you're staying in a nice Airbnb or hotel. Then you're eating out, 3 times a day. But we come over trying to impress these women, man. Thinking she's the only one paying attention. But see, here's what's happening. This is true right here. A lot of guys are getting smart. They're saying, okay, I'd rather get deported, than get deburied. This is what they're saying. He said, I know a guy that has a gun every time he walks around and lots of ammo to go with it. These guys are packing, so I always assume they have a heat on them. A lot of foreigners are deciding, well, I'm just going to take my chances. Just like the American who had that gun who killed the other American last month or in May, whenever that happened. They're saying, I'd rather be deported than deburied. This is what they're saying. Yeah, he said, men got to be on 10 toes. Yeah, okay. This is right. This is facts. He said, it's too easy to get along with people over there. They're very nice. They're very hospitable. They're very warm, man. But what happens is, Obi-Wan Kenobi, we get lulled to sleep. We get to thinking everybody's like that. And we think, oh, I've been there before. Did nothing happen. It's like all these guys down in Mindanao, man. I doubt if I ever go back down to Mindanao. I doubt if I ever go there again. Okay, because the State Department says don't go down there. It's a level 3. It's like, reconsider your travel to Mindanao. Now, they know more than me. There's plenty of bad guys down there, okay? And that's why they made it a level 3. They don't have anything to gain out of that. And parts of that place is level 4. But you don't even know when you're going from level 3 to level 4 because we're so arrogant, man. It'll never happen to me. I'm in safe hands with this girl. I'm on the bus. I'm in the terminal. Man, you guys better do some history. Man, better do some research on the history over here. You living right in the red zone and don't even know it. You don't even read the paper. They're blowing up buses right where you're living. But because you didn't hear about it, oh, I got to say I'm in a safe area. Yeah, he going to get you killed over here. Yeah, you must be a dick sucker too. Look at you. With a dog licking on you in your profile, and that fake ass profile. Get off here. You know. Slobbering and sticking his tongue down the throat of a damn man. And he's the GOAT. Yeah, he says nothing good happens in bars. Oh, man. It's crazy. He said, protect Cal at all costs. He's speaking facts. I've been there to the land. He's not lying. I love the Philippines, man, but it's just so disheartening when stuff like this happens. You know, it's like you awaken to reality, you know, because you walk around here, man, like a zombie, man. You know, you're thinking, man, I finally, you know, escaped that matrix over there. I'm in a place, the sun's shining all the time. The people are so nice. You know, I'm just going to live the rest of my life here. And then something like this happens. 2 just shady cases. It's different than, you know, somebody fighting at a bar, they're both drunk or something like that. And these guys were innocent as innocent can be. One's walking up the street, and then the other, this is broad daylight, by the way. Then the other kicked back in his house. And you can't be no more innocent than that. But the women that you so crazy about, you're spending all your money on, you're sending it all to her over here, she's going to be the one to get you. I told you that. Your worst enemy's going to be sleeping with you in that bed. Now, she done set him up probably. Okay? I mean, you don't have to be some type of forensic scientist, okay, to figure that one out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, don't get lulled to sleep, man. I love it here, man. You know, we're headed to Boracay. So many places, man. You know, they probably gonna, you know, carry me out on the stretch. I'm not, if I have my chance, my choice, America or the Philippines, it's the Philippines. But as more and more becomes revealed, I'm thinking, did I jump from the frying pan into the fire? Because everybody keeps saying, well, it's like that in America. It's like that everywhere. Well, that's why I left America. I'm trying to get away from that, you know, random, senseless violence. Now, certainly, you know, it makes my heart, you know, cold, man, when you think that the woman that you've done so much for, that you rescued, would be the one to stick the knife in your back. You know, a lot of guys, they won't allow their Filipino wives and girlfriends to speak the language around them. They say, look, you got to speak English so I can understand what you're saying. See, that's another way that you can remain safe. Okay? A lot of us will say, oh man, that's being cold, man. You know, no, you don't understand that language. You don't know what that woman's saying. She's sitting there on the phone plotting your murder. You won't know nothing. Smiling. Okay, and all you thinking about is the damn oil change that's coming up. He said, I think a video about breathing at 100 is more realistic. No, but these are the type of videos they're throwing at us. They have no value at all. They have no value at all. Who gives a damn what your dating life has been like after 100 or whatever it is, 80 or whatever it is? Why are you even talking about dating anyway? When that's the least of my worries over here. You can be 150. You can make a video dating after 150 over here. Because you're going to have a girlfriend. There's going to be some woman over here that's going to say, okay, I'm for it. He said shit like this is going to drive more expats to Thailand or Vietnam. See, I even did that. I even looked up the crime rates. Thailand, you know, according to the, you know, the experts and the people who keep up with stuff like that. You got to remember, crime is down in the Philippines. It's really way down, significantly down. Certainly gun violence is way down here, but way down from what? Now it's about 5,000 gun offenses every year. That's a lot. They're up there with the United States. But anyway, excuse me, they say that Thailand is safer than the Philippines, but they said Vietnam is significantly safer than the Philippines. But guess what? The Philippines is safer than Cambodia. Significantly safer than Cambodia. See, everybody's talking up Cambodia because they don't know what they're talking about. They've only been there a couple of months, a couple of weeks, a couple of years. They know nothing about Cambodia for real. Only their perception, that little bitty circle of that they're in, is significantly safer. It's one of the most dangerous countries over here in Southeast Asia. But they'll tell you it's booming. Oh, come on over to Cambodia. Yeah, and get my head blown off. And you got people in Cambodia right now that tell you, look, man, I'm not the expert. Don't get on me. You argue with those people whose job it is to compile that type of information. Okay, I don't want to hear it. If you don't listen to the State Department, you certainly ain't going to listen to me. But this is the whole thing. Okay, this is the whole thing right here in a nutshell. He said, stirring a pot you don't understand 8,000 miles away. See, this is the thing. We don't understand the people, the culture, the Philippines, nothing. And we're not trying to learn. My buddy John, may he rest in peace. He didn't want nothing to do with the Philippines, Filipinos, only the woman that was laying next to him. That was it. He wasn't trying to learn the culture. John, we'd be in McDonald's and John would say something like, well, you know, because they were trying to, his girlfriend was trying to get him to go, trying to get him to remember the woman in the casket, right? Because they went to her hometown and she was like, well, you know this woman, John. You met her such and such time. You know what John said to me, man? And I'm telling you, you know how close, if you've been to McDonald's here, the tables are real close together. He said, they all look alike to me. I was like, come on, John, you can't say that, man. You know, people looking, you know, we're not even, imagine being over here saying something like that. And you would never know, with no family or friends backing you up in a place where people make 1/30th of what you do, carries unique risk. But if we have conversations like this, they think, oh, you're putting the Philippines down. No, you're not. You're just facts. Facts are fantasy. It's your choice. The real Philippines is a whole lot better than the fantasy Philippines that these people are selling you. Certainly these vloggers, man. You're going to get entertained to death. That's what's going to happen. You're literally going to die. They're not giving you any information that's essential for your survival over here. They'll tell you that all you need is a woman over here. No, you need a whole lot more than that. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not even going to say this on Underworld Report. The Philippines is not trash. Okay? You'd rather live where you live now. He says, hello, I agree that we should find a way to keep ourselves safe, but do some research on our options. It's a very big gray area, and we'll always lose in the Philippine legal system or any of the legal systems. It's certainly when most of us are operating on tourist visas for real in these places. You're always going to lose. Watch my video I just put out. Okay, I didn't suffer any cuts in the Philippines today. It's not as bad as what y'all think it is. But once you do your research and you know how things work over here, and you get in where you fit in, you're not at home. We're expecting to be treated the same way and have the same rights, protections, and privileges in the Philippines as we do at home. That doesn't work for real. Any of these places over here, man, you better get in where you fit in. You see what they're doing to tourists over in Thailand? Thailand was the king among kings for a long time. Nobody was anywhere near that. Look the figures up in 2019. You're talking about 49 million tourists was flocking to Thailand. Okay, now that they done built their muscles up, they're like, okay, we got the money, we got the reputation, we got the economy now. F y'all. We're going to get strict now. You act like they treating you any better over there? It ain't going to be long. See, people ain't going to act up in Vietnam for real. You saw those real gangsters go over there and kill that gang member from Australia. But the regular Tom, Dick, and Harrys like us and Chads, they know better because Vietnam don't play over there. It ain't going to take long. But for them to make an example out of one person, really make an example, like they're going to do that American over there robbed that jewelry store. They might give him the death penalty. You don't know. When you commit stupid crimes like that in a place like Vietnam, you put your life in their hands. But you ain't got it no better. We're saying wherever you are, you should be doing these things. You should be more vigilant. We've got too comfortable. We've got too comfortable over here. No, I got two. I'm doing my live stream tomorrow about why men enjoy the hole in her face rather than between her legs. We're going to talk about oral sex and how popular that is among men, certainly as we get older. And this is information that I've gotten from studies. People study this stuff. It's not me trying to be nasty. I've got a grown channel. We talk about real life stuff like this. Okay, 80% of men have given or received oral sex sometime during their lifetime. And we talk, this is what we're going to talk about. There are a lot of men would rather have the throat, okay, than the tailpipe. Certainly as you get older, man, look, guys, the mouth, the tongue, the lips can give you a sensation that pussy can't. So yeah, your God created something better than a pussy, believe it or not. This is the experts. This is not me. It's called the mouth. That's the only hole I'm interested in right now. The hole in her face. That one between her legs gets me in trouble. Every time. He says, what's up, Cedric? He said, good observation on men now, Cal. Just because experts expats are there doesn't mean you'll dodge the bullet when someone targets you. Yeah, because many are oblivious when they're falling out of favor. This is facts right here. You see people, you see these guys because they're there. Remember, all it takes is for somebody to have one bad day, guys, and that's your ass. What day is it going to be? I don't want to wake up every day thinking, is this going to be the day that one of these rebels come out of hiding? I'll run into one of them at the grocery store or whatever it is. Okay? But this is the odds that you face when you're down in Mindanao. I didn't say it. I should live down there, but I wouldn't live there again because I was in some type of delusion. I was like, I know more than the State Department. Yeah, he said, if I get robbed, I'm going to give it all up. I am too, man, because they'll kill you over here. This isn't America, man. They will kill you over here. It's been seen over and over and over. Give them the money and live again to see another day. Okay? Carry that extra wallet, that old phone or whatever it is. Give them something, man. Don't resist. I'm going to take my chances on giving them everything and walking away, because if you fight them, man, somebody said it on here. They said desperation is a killer. They like, look, man, I'm not playing with you. They're not playing. Well, I'm just saying that the experts say that the mouth can do so much, to give you so much more pleasure than the vagina, and you don't have to worry about it bleeding once a month or going into the menopause and all that. It's true. I didn't say it. The expert, I said, that was my opinion. I said that your God created something better than the vagina. It was that mouth, man. That's the only hole I'm concerned about. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. I owe y'all that. But we need to talk about something serious today. Hey, Big Hamster, thanks for that super chat. He said, Booby bum rushing the live stream. God bless her. Yeah, she's out today, man. She had leg cramps last night. It's her first year going to school all year round. And I think she's not used to it yet. He said, we appreciate you, bro. I just broke up with my LDR. She always come up with some excuse for more money. Yeah, that's a good deal, like Roger said. Those LDRs, guys, you got to let them go. Okay, if she wants to think y'all in a relationship, okay. I'm in a relationship with myself when I'm at home. I got to take care of me. I can't worry about what's going on 8,000 miles away. Because it's always going to be something. We always talk about this. It's always going to be something in the LDR. Some guy put it on here. Wash machine. It's going to be something. What's up, Cisco? The baby needs milk and Pampers. Forget the fact that it's not your baby. It still needs milk and Pampers and diapers. You're going to find yourself doing more for her than you even doing for your own family over there. That's diabolical right there. Q's favorite word. That's diabolical. As a matter of fact, you're going to find yourself doing more for her and her family than you're doing for yourself. And then she's going to be the one that's going to turn around and stab you in the back. What's up, Saran a lot? You still work? Did you go back to work, Cisco? Because, man, I was watching Johnny S. sent me a link, man. The damn rent out in San Francisco is just unbelievable. Like, who can afford to live out there? They're talking about a 1 bedroom for $3,000 per month. And they was interviewing this one guy. He said, yeah, a lot of my friends, they live in 2 and 3 bedrooms. They want $4,000 and $5,000 a month. And I'm like, because a lot of the tech people are running the market up. I guess the same way that I see people talking about expats doing that in the Philippines. There's something real about that. Because I saw when my buddy Kevin, Too Much Time on My Hands, he's paying $60,000 for a house, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I'd pay $60,000 for that. But I think, but guys moving up there in Dumaguete, so many of them, that has a lot to do with the prices going up. There's something to that. He said Thailand tourism is down, maybe due to the price increase related to that war. No, it's been going down before the war. He said the world is really feeling the impact. No, the South Koreans and the Chinese, certainly the Chinese, have shook everything up over here. If you see the numbers in Vietnam, man, it's striking, man. You'll be like, wow, what is Vietnam doing? They're really not doing anything. They're opening up. And people like what they see. Because their numbers are crazy now. Did you realize when I came to the Philippines in 2009, and then all the way up to pre-pandemic, the Philippines was drawing more tourists than Vietnam. Look that up. 2019. Look up the numbers. The Philippines had more visitors than Vietnam. Vietnam was still way down there. Man, Vietnam has shot past everybody. They're rivaling Thailand now. But KT told me something that's very true, and you start to see a little bit of it. He said, Cal, Da Nang, the infrastructure isn't, big enough to take all of these people that's coming to Da Nang. He said it's only a matter of time. And you can see it, with the frustration and the prices going up. Okay, yeah. So Uber and DoorDash is not working? He said, no way I'd go back to a real job. Yeah. Well, shit, that's the real job. Driving? He said, we pay $1,800 for a 2-bedroom here. Now, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, man. Honestly, it's not too bad. For California. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I love Vietnam, man. When I saw that it was significantly safer, the Philippines just has my heart, man. I've been here for so long, and I feel like I know it, man. That's why when things like this happen, man, it really strikes a chord with me, man. I really don't want to see this kind of stuff, man. I know it's real life. And I know that, I just gotta, suck it up, man. But you'd be like, man, I really don't want to see this. So I asked the question, man, are we being targeted? Because remember, man, there's less and less South Koreans and Chinese coming here now. We've taken over. Americans have moved to the #1 spot. So if it's less and less South Koreans and Chinese to scam and rob and stuff like that, who do you think they're going to turn to? The people that they see the most. This is the reason the South Koreans and Chinese have left the Philippines. Too many were being victims of crime, violent crime, robbery, kidnapping, murder, and wasn't nothing being done. So their governments were like, hey, look, stop going there. And they did. But we, as Americans, we don't have a collective consciousness. We've got that entitlement, or, it's not going to happen to me. So we're coming over here in droves. But you're going to start seeing more of this stuff because Not because the Philippines is such a bad place or anything. It's because we've taken the place of the South Koreans and Chinese. We used to be third on the list, guys. Imagine how close those places are to the Philippines. And look how many people are in China. And for us to pass China, I'm going after Booby's birthday. But I'm going to stay there for a little while this time. You know, I plan on staying there not 2 weeks. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time there. I just wasn't there. 2 weeks is not enough in Vietnam. Not for somebody who's never been there before. We didn't see, we didn't scratch the surface. I didn't go to Da Nang, Nha Trang, any of those places. We decided to stay in Ho Chi Minh because, man, I figured it out, man. I was like, 2 weeks is nothing. By the time we leave here, because we were going to spend a week here, week in Ho Chi Minh City and a week in Nha Trang, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do all that traveling. Let's just stay here in Ho Chi Minh City. But yeah, I'm going back. Yeah, but it's down overall. Yeah, it's. I think eventually, as long as crime continues to go down, I believe, and nothing crazy happens. Because guys, y'all just don't pay attention, man. See, I don't get my news from mainstream media. You don't get any information from these CBS, CNN, ABC, NBC, and all that, Fox. They were talking to that CIA guy, that John Kiriakou, and they were asking him, well, what's the truth about the Iranians having so many cells, these terrorist cells in America? He's like, there's no truth to that. Talking about Cleveland, Chicago, and different places like that. He was saying they're probably going to hit Americans outside of America. He said in places like Manila. This is what this guy said. Man, I like to fell out of the bed. I'm watching him. And he named a couple of other places, but Manila was one of the places. Y'all understand that it was about 6 months ago when I reported on this, that the Israeli government had given their citizens a warning about an impending terrorist attack over in Thailand. Impending terrorist attack. It hasn't happened yet, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. They gave their citizens, so you're over there, you don't know anything about it, and you're going to end up being the innocent bystander. But, it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. He said, because, they vowed revenge against America and against Trump for killing their supreme leader. Why are people making a big deal out of it? I don't know, because if people were to invade America and kill our president, we'd want revenge too. But he said more than likely they're going to strike people outside of America. They're going to awaken these cells. I know they got cells over here. I've been knowing that. I told y'all that a long time ago, last year, when they started that war. I said, be careful, man. Certainly if you're in Mindanao, they're going to awaken a sleeping giant. They're down there, man. I'm talking about real bad guys. Remember, who's the guy that? Ramzi Youssef? He used to live in Manila. He used to be down in Manila teaching them, not in Mindanao, teaching them how to create bombs and stuff like that. He came within inches of getting caught here. They were making bombs in his hotel room, and one of them went off. And he had to run. They left everything behind. That's how they knew it was him. Well, anyway, he had made a bomb because they were going to, right before 9/11, they had set up where they were going to blow up like 19 or 20 airliners all on the same day. But he used to live in Manila. So when you hear stuff like that, Don't let it shock you. Don't be like, oh man, he's not telling the truth. That sounds so crazy, right? Mm-mm. Well, that's because they made a conscious decision to leave. You know, and I'm not saying anything that don't nobody else know. This is just information that's out there for people who want it. But you're not gonna get it off Fox and all this place. I'm so disappointed. See, this is where people get their news now. Social media. This is where the real independent journalists are. He said, Richie Rich, yeah, I have it made rich, and I live close to downtown. Oh, Nob Hill. Oh, you're talking about. I keep on missing Richie Rich. Okay. He said, I wish I could live in the city for that much. So where do you live, Rich? He said, I don't go downtown San Francisco. I've been there one time. I've been to the wharf, Fisherman's Wharf. I had my picture sketched, and my American wife got mad at me and balled it up, well, ripped it up. That picture looked just like me. But we ate at a nice restaurant. It was either Italian restaurant, I can't remember. It's either Italian or a seafood restaurant. But yeah, Thailand used to be the beast in tourism, man. Imagine 49 million, there's only 69 million in the country. But that's the cost of over tourism. And when everything was booming like that, I used to have discussions like that on my channel. Like, man, there's a price you pay for over tourism. One of them is the locals get tired of you. They can't catch, the tricycle, everything. The prices is going up. All the Airbnbs, the rent's going up. It was just too many people, man. And then, for some reason, the Pookies, man, they really love Thailand, I'm glad they love it more than the Philippines. They're not going to tolerate them in Vietnam, but they'll tolerate them here. I just hope that they don't get a liking to the Philippines, because they're all over in Thailand, man. That's why I really, I didn't know any better when I went to Thailand. I fell in love with Thailand. But I don't think I want. I'm going to go back because Maryland wants to go back. But I don't know if I want to live there. If I do, it's not going to be in Bangkok. Certainly not going to be in Pattaya. The same guys I'm trying to run away from in America is going to show up over there with their same bullshit. Because Derek Casanara sent me a link yesterday. Some Pookie them beat up the man who's renting the jet skis. This is the type of stuff you can't do, man, you going overseas, because we think we're home. Like, come on, man. Okay. He says, hey, Brother Cal, brother, if you get caught slipping anywhere, you're a mark. I've been in for 13 years, always checking, front, back, and side. Yeah, thank you, Brother Cal. Yeah, that's true, man, but I like to keep it over here in the Philippines because this is where people want to come. This is where I am, and I left America. I left anywhere to come here. And that's why it's so disappointing when you see innocent people getting killed. It's not like he's drunk or something, or he's, loaning money or something, risky and crazy like that. These guys were not living in any dangerous place that the State Department said was dangerous. And they certainly wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. They both were minding their own business. It's when that happens, man, that, I get concerned, man. Hey, Sam W., thanks for that super chat. He said, currently in Thailand and almost bought the DTV, but saw immigration is giving access to business. Interrogation when they reset their visa. Nope. Yeah, see, Derek Casanaro, he's like the expert on Thailand. He's telling you, he said, Cal, they picking and choosing who they want over here now because they can do that now. They built their muscles up after all these years on the back of foreigners. Man, that's a good video by this guy who's talking about, he calls them hypocrites. He said, yeah, y'all built this big economy and everything on our backs. Now you don't want us there. It's got a lot of views. It's really interesting. I never looked at it that way, but when you're getting as many tourists as they're getting, man, you know, you can make the rules. I mean, look up their numbers, man, pre-pandemic. It's going to shock you. At one time, Bangkok was the most visited city on the planet. It may still be. I know Paris and France is tops in tourism now, but they have been. They wore that, but man, Thailand only has 69 million locals, and they were bringing in 39 to 49 million tourists year after year after year. Hey, Q, thanks for that super chat. He says, the Philippines has a foreign tragedy every other blue moon. A big deal. In America, there's a homicide every 30 minutes. I'll take the Philippines all day. Yeah, I said don't panic, but that doesn't mean for you to let your guard down. Okay? And remember, the Philippines is it can be a very dangerous place, depending on who you are. 5,000 gun offenses last year, that's nothing to shake a stick at. But I moved here to escape that over in America. But this is why we have to be vigilant. It's not how many getting killed, because it's a small figure, just like I said on the video. But it's why they were killed, Q. How do you know that this isn't the start of something new? Remember, we can't hide behind the South Koreans and the Chinese anymore. They were bringing a lot of money over here, a whole lot more than we have. A lot of us, man, our damn bankrolls are on respirator for real. We just be fronting over here. And Filipinos know that. But they gotta have the bad guys that got to get it from somewhere. They number one target isn't here anymore. They're gonna target you. I do now. He said, do you qualify for the retirement visa? I do now. He said, I'm only 42, so no, I don't qualify. Oh, okay, so you talking to him. He said, Bangkok, not anymore, but it used to be. You know. And it's still popular. It's certainly among Big Shirley's. They found their paradise in Thailand. And I don't blame them, you know. It's something different. A lot of Americans, man, we don't travel as much as everybody else. So you go to a place, you know, we consider that exotic. I came to the Philippines and different places for something different. So whenever I see something different, I admire it. I don't talk down on it. I came here for something different. Yeah, Vietnam, man, is way up there now, but they're not going to tolerate Vietnam be on some shit. You see when that gangster got killed over there, they caught them guys basically the same day. You know, you thinking to yourself, how? You know, Vietnam got like 100-something million people. You know, they doing a lot of screwing over there. He said there were never any school shootings a month ago, and now there are threats of school shootings and bomb threats every week, seems like. So it could be the start of something. Yeah, I told you before, this copycat syndrome is real. This is the reason why in America they don't report, there's an unspoken rule on reporting suicides among the police and the mainstream media. They don't do it because they know that anything that where people can get attention, because suicide is an attention getter. That's why you commit suicide. I'm going to show them. So they don't do it. So the same thing happened here. Those little guys got a lot of attention because it gripped the nation here, man. They're not used to something like that. And then, two of the victims were girls, little girls, in high school, man. It was sad. And it really gripped the nation. I said, well, every day it's in the news. So I said, yeah, they're gonna happen again. They just shut down one in Lapu Lapu, where the 18-year-old threatened to go to school and kill everybody. They had 2 bomb threats here in San Carlos City. One little 7th grader he was upset with the principal for some reason. And then there was an anonymous threat that they're trying to track down right now, but all that's copycat. And then when online, people would just sit back and do that. It's like swatting people, like they do in America. They'll just do it for kicks. Hey, Blank Paper One, thanks for that super chat. He said, Thailand has become so overran by Indians, they have shortened their visa stays from 60 days to 15 days. Wow. Excuse me. I know when I was there in 2022, there were a lot of Indians, but no matter where you go, because of the amount of Indians and Chinese, you're always going to see Indians and Chinese. When you got over 1 billion people in your country. And when I was there in 2022, I love Indian food. And I'm sitting there, it's just me. I'm the only one in this whole restaurant. It's one of the reasons I chose it. Right there on Beach Road, I go in there and I order my food. I'm sitting there eating, man. And then, I don't know, it's like some type of signal they gave. And next thing you know, all of these Indians from off the backs of trucks and buses, they come in, man. I'm talking about I was in there like this. They all sitting around me, they eating with their hands and different things. I'm talking about in a matter of just minutes, they took over the whole restaurant. That's in 2022. I don't have anything against that. I'm just saying that was my experience with Indians in Pattaya. Because I was only in Pattaya for I was there for 2 nights. He says, my visa ends in August, so I'll be visiting Manila, Cebu then. There's a convention in Manila I'd like to attend, so I'm exploring that bubble city you stayed in, Cal. Yeah, these bubble cities are going to get more and more popular. I don't know whose invention that was, but it's ingenious, really, when you think about it. Where you can just, because the first time I ever saw one really where I was really consciously looking at it was Moncton, Newtown. And I was like, this will never work. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And, it wasn't halfway. It wasn't even 1/3 completed in 2022 as it is now. I couldn't see it. Man, shit, I'd love to live in Moncton, Newtown now. Or any of these bubble cities. It's just so convenient. And then if you want to go somewhere else, you just, you would only have to leave. I would probably only leave there once or twice a week. I would love to live in one of the bubble cities where everything is there. The only reason I get out of here is because I don't have any choice to go to the grocery store. We got a little mall over here, not a whole lot of nothing. The gym. Everything I have to leave my house when I'm in these bubble cities, it's all there. The gym, the swimming pool, the mall, the money if I need to withdraw money or go to the bank. Everything. It's ingenious. I don't know whose invention that was. He said, do we know the true story about those Americans? Well, only a little that they report, but there's witnesses to the man who got robbed. Because it was in broad daylight. You can see it. They showing him. Look like they showed the top of his head getting blown off. It's just the way the CCTV is. It shows the guy. They showed them circle back. Shows the guy on the motorcycle and the back guy off. It shows him stop and shoot. Look like the guy's head. Like he, because he's just sitting there like this. Like, run, man. He's just standing there and letting the guy blow his head off. But we don't really know a whole lot. And you're not going to know a whole lot. He said GTA 6 is being released soon. Advise your family to stay away from it. Okay, remember I was telling y'all they've banned a app here. It's called Gorebox. Gorebox. It's very popular among, the youth here. They banned it in the Philippines. They believe it's behind a lot of the violence. Hey, what's up? He said, I love Indian food too, but like most Pinoys, my wife doesn't. Hey, S. Allen, thanks for that super sticker. But I tell you what, they love, but you're right about this. Maryland never wants to eat Indian food, but they love Mexican food. Mexican food is growing in popularity here in the Philippines. What? Get out of here, man. See, this is what you be like pulling your hair out. Now, the typhoon just left. Now he said Typhoon Josie is inside the PAR. Now see, the sun is shining right now. But last night it was raining like cats and dogs. But those bubble cities, I really like. Well, I fell in love with them. Certainly the one I was staying in Manila. I was in like a semi bubble in East Bay, but the Venice Grand Mall, now that's a real bubble city. You don't have to leave for anything. They got the tennis court there, the pickleball court. What else do they have? What's the one thing that they play over here and in China that's real popular? Okay, Rick. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off here too. But I was kind of fired up today. Those murders, man, they got me concerned, man. I hope this isn't the sign of something new, man. Yeah, badminton. Thank you. Yeah, she's back home, big time superstar. And I wonder how she feels now. That's somebody needs to write a book on that. Not just her, but this is a young lady who people didn't even know who she was before. The world is so fickle. Behind the scenes, she's doing all this work. Her family, is there from day one, the coaches, then she goes over to Spain. Nadal is the tennis school she was going to. And no one knew who she was. They didn't care. But the minute she starts winning and becoming famous and successful, now, they got the whole country behind her. But I think that's good. But, it's like, I wonder how she feels because I saw a picture of her in the airport. It's just a throng of people behind her, like she's the president. Yeah, he said, Mexican food is one of my favorites. Well, in California, anyway, I'm not going to lie, they got some good Mexican food here. It's like 4 that I've had, 4 restaurants. They've even got one in Bacolod now. A real one. Because usually I just order just the basic stuff just to see, is this real? Are they doing this sweet, sauce? Because a friend took me to a Mexican restaurant in Newport City. No, it's not real authentic Mexican food. It's that Filipino Mexican food. It's nothing like La Lucha. It's nothing like the Bantayan burrito shop. It's nothing like that place in Bacolod. And then there was a place I ate in Manila. It was real good. I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, I love Mexican food. I mean, it's really, really good. He said, could the crime put the tune-up applications on hold? That's not going to deter them. Absolutely not. Nothing's going to stop men from coming over here. Because to them, that's the draw. They don't realize the Philippines is so much more than that. But to them, it's the draw. And there's so much money tied up into that. Our numbers keep going up. And, as Americans, we think we're bulletproof. We're exempt. That's why, we're so comfortable when we go to these places. It's not just the Philippines. Anywhere we go, we get comfortable. Like we own the place. So no, it's not going to stop anything, man. It's going to make people come even more. Because they're going to figure out, oh, that 35-year-old probably had a girlfriend. I can just get with his girl now. Or the 73-year-old was with a 34-year-old. So, somebody's going to have to be with her now. But this is why I'm saying we need to vet these women, investigate them, because one of y'all going to end up with the 34-year-old. They're never going to tell you who it is. You're never going to know. All she's going to do is go back on the dating site eventually. And one of y'all going to end up with her. This is why you need to be concerned, man. But y'all don't care. And like I said before, these Filipino vloggers, we give them a pass, guys. Fuck that, man. I called them out on my video. Because they can help us. But they refuse to help us. So y'all can keep on giving them all your support and all that. I'm not mad at them. But I called them out about this. Whenever there's a murder of a foreigner, certainly an American, they go quiet. They don't talk about it. They don't tell you what's going on for real. They just keep telling, oh, it's no big deal. Come on over. Look at this 18-year-old in the bikini. And where's the nicest Filipino women? What they like, and this is what y'all worried about. But I've been telling you for 6 years that that's the least of your worries. You don't believe me. You won't take it from me. Anytime somebody says anything about dating, you got old-ass men on here giving y'all advice about dating, and y'all sitting there on the edge of your seat, okay, trying to suck it all in like, dude, there's nothing to see here. Okay, take a bath, put on some clean clothes, get on the plane, come to the Philippines. Get off the plane, go to the hotel, take a bath, put on some clean clothes. You're going to have a woman. The guy made a video dating after 70. Okay, I could make a video dating after 150 over here. It's not going to be any different. It's not going to be any different. Okay? Yeah, we're old, and it's true. A lot of women do like old men over here. And the reason is because they don't think you can do it anymore. But a lot of these women are getting food. A lot of men in their 60s and 70s still in good shape. We can go. And they shocked. I had a woman remember the guy I told y'all he's 68 and the woman's 19? He told me, he said, yeah, I've been tearing it up, right? And he said she told him that's the reason why she wanted to date him, because she didn't think he had no more in his tank. This is what they thinking when they make these old guys. They just want all the money and all that. They want to be the trophy. They don't really want you all breathing on them. Sorbine Jr. in their damn lungs and all of that. Yeah, dating out there. It's the same thing. It could be the same. It could be the same content. Yeah, he said they pros at getting your money and thirst trapping. There's nothing of intrinsic value in their content. And I'm not knocking them, man. Y'all don't get me wrong. I'm just telling you that this affected me when these guys got killed. And I'm saying, look, it's time for y'all to quit the bullshit. Y'all put out all that other shit. Talk about these people. You know, put some respect on them. Show them, show us what to do. How to avoid all that stuff. I don't need no 22-year-old woman telling me about how to date over here. I was dating over here before you even came on your period. Imagine these young women. I came over in 2009, 17 years ago. Subtract 17 from their age and see, hell, they were Booby's age. But they're going to tell me and you about dating over here? Come on, man. That's just so insulting to me. I know it's entertainment, but let me say this before I get over here. If you keep getting entertained, guys, eventually you're going to get embalmed. You're going to die over here. They're not giving you anything that's going to protect you over here. Have you ever heard of a Filipino talking about that? How to protect yourself over here? What to look for? Where to avoid? Yeah, they'll talk about Mindanao. Hell, anybody can do that. But they've got secrets, man, that they can give us. They just refuse to do it. They don't care for real. They don't care for real. Here it is right here. He said they just want your money and thirst trapping. They want to keep it about the woman because that's how they get rich. Okay? That's how they keep the PayPal coming in. I don't blame them. I'm just speaking for myself. You guys are, y'all, a lot of you guys are armchair bros. I get it. You want to see that kind of stuff. But to me, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense at all to me. Just any of them. I'm not, from the top to the bottom, they get real quiet. When we really need them, okay, when we really need them, like, hey, what's going on over there? What should I look for? Because, okay, Todd said something today, the exact same thing I said on that video, and he hadn't even saw the video. He said, man, when I see two men on a motorcycle, I go the other way. It's very, man, if that doesn't send the antennas up, guys, most people over here have their own motorcycle. If you don't have your own motorcycle, you're doing really bad. But when you see two men on that motorcycle like that, man, you need to be worried. You need to take precautions. Don't just keep on walking like, oh, okay, I see this all the time. No. Something might pop off. Okay? Hey, what's up? I'm just saying, just be more vigilant. Don't just get comfortable and act like, everybody on the motorcycle is the same. That's probably what happened to that guy up there. But I'll be damned. If I done resisted them and, made them flee, I'm going to flee. I'm not going to sit there and wait for them people to come back. This is what bothers me in both these cases. The killers were too comfortable. The experts say that 55% of the victims know the perpetrator. Okay, for those guys to circle back around to this guy, they knew something about him. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. That's too comfortable. And people already saw you try to rob me the first time. And you take off, but then you're going to circle back in broad daylight? How's this all? If you look at the CCTV, the still shot they show you, he's right in front of some row of houses. They heard the pow pow. I don't know, man. It just done something to me, guys, today. People just don't be concerned, man. That's what bothers me. I'm over here, man. I'm a sitting duck. You know, it's more nitty and gritty over here than I'm telling you, but I gotta watch my back. I can't just get on here saying anything and going crazy, and because I may insult somebody without even insulting them. The wrong person may misinterpret what I'm saying. And then what? I ain't got a leg to stand on. I put my whole family in jeopardy, guys. You know what I'm saying? But then you got these fools that even come at me knowing what we're facing over here. This is ignorance, guys. This is why they shouldn't even be tolerated. It's nothing to play about. It's nothing to laugh about. Okay? That's some fucked up entertainment for anybody who gets off on that. We're already up against it over here. There's nothing you can do if somebody over here wants to fuck you over. Some guys have even got smarter than that. They're saying, I'm not going to live over there 100% of the time. I'm not going to live there at all. Because I know what we're up against over there. Some of us just don't care. We take our chance. But some guys, you know, these are really the smart ones. They're like, at least I can legally own a gun in America. At least I'll have a chance. I can even carry it with me when I'm walking. So if somebody wants to act crazy, I can just pull out and start shooting. Over here, guys, you got none of that. Y'all worried about owning land. You don't even worry about owning nothing that's going to keep those people off you. I'm so thankful that people over here are as nice as they are. Otherwise, it'd be a story like that every week. This isn't about politics. It's about murder. It ain't got nothing to do with politics, Q. Oh, bullshit. Hey, what's up, man? My son lives in Raleigh. He's blossoming into a soccer star, man. I'm so proud of him, man. I can't believe it. He went to a camp in Virginia, 2-day camp, man. Now he's got letters that they're sending him letters. They want him to come to college. He'll be in the 10th grade this year. But he said the young women feel like it's not their job to talk about those type of statements. They know what we want to hear. What statements? We're just saying share some inside information to us. Okay, remember, we're your audience. Remember, we're worth more to them alive than dead, Big Mike. They should be looking after our best interests. Okay? There's places that are really dangerous that we think are safe. And they know it. They can tell us that. Okay? Just like Merlin told the woman, don't take that boy back up there anymore. They can do the same thing. You know they fighting up there. Are you crazy? Merlin told the girl that. When Merlin found out where she lived, and Merlin's like, has he ever been up there? I said, yeah. She took him up there the last time he was here. Merlin went out there and said, don't you ever take that boy back up there anymore. You know how dangerous it is up there, but we get lucky when it comes to that. So we think it's okay because he went up there one time and got lucky and nothing happened to him. So we think we can keep on doing it. That's what they're doing down there in Mindanao. I'm not going to Mindanao anymore. I'm sorry. They told me to stay away from there, so I'm going to stay away. I don't know more than the government. Okay? Absolutely. He said, Cal, what's your take on this criminality? Does your safety improve when you got a Filipino partner that you can trust? Yeah, because she's going to be your liaison, Cedric. You can't understand the language here. If she really cares about you and you really trust her, she's going to tell you the little stuff like that. Marilyn didn't have to tell them that. It's a lot of stuff she's told me that I didn't know. A lot of the stuff that I share with y'all, I get it from Marilyn. But this is absolutely true. Because I think every word's safe. You know, a lot of times she'll tell me, you know, in the morning when you walk, don't walk down that cul-de-sac. You know that cul-de-sac that I walk sometimes and it circles and you come back out where all the shade is? Marilyn says don't walk there. She said because that's where a lot of the snatchers be when they were here before. It's just little stuff that she'll tell you like that, Cedric. But these Filipino vloggers, they're completely quiet. They take for granted that you know this stuff when you don't know it. Hell, if I don't know where to meet the best Filipinos, why do you think I know how to avoid the bad guys? He said, yeah, you have to keep your head on swivel because you're entering a land of the have-nots, and it's tough in most cases for them to watch you live, and they've been fighting their entire life. But honestly, let me say this, though. They really aren't envious of us, really. They don't get that close to us. Now, you may see somebody in your woman, your girlfriend, or your wife's family, because they're close to you. You know, they see you on a daily basis, how you live, and you eating good and all that. But most Filipinos, they're not jealous of you in that way, man. If they were, we'd be in big trouble. They got better things to think about over here. They're set in their culture over here. Okay, a lot of them don't want what you got because they don't want to do what you did to get what you got. Okay, it's like, I'm okay over here. But you do have to keep that in mind when you flashing out there. No, I was just telling you that I didn't recommend is a place for you to go, Q. I said, I just start naming some places that you could go. Just because I'm not going doesn't mean you don't go. There's thousands and thousands and thousands. There's probably just as many after Manila, because that's where most expats live up in that Metro Manila area. It would have to be Mindanao. Okay, he said, Unc, why did you recommend Mindanao as a place for me to visit? I was talking about the Gland, Sarangani province. When you said, oh, I'm tired of Boracay, and you named like 2 or 3 places, and I start naming off a whole lot of other places that you could go. And Gland, Sarangani province was one of them. But that doesn't mean that you can't go down there. People live there. Okay, there's thousands upon thousands of vloggers and expats that live in Mindanao. I just said I'm not. You know, and you always playing this got you stuff. Okay? I said I'm not going. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I used to live in Mindanao for over 10 years. But because I was delusional, I thought I knew more than the State Department. But you were talking about so few places you've been to. I'm tired of going to the same places. So I told you, you haven't even been to Puerto Galera. You haven't even been to Panglao Bahal, Bantayan Island. I told you on Cebu alone, Argyle, Aslab, Malboal, Malapascua, Bantayan Island, Camotes Island. I named you a whole bunch of stuff. But no, I'm not going. Yeah, you know, but tell that to the 2 Canadians who had their head chopped off over there in Samal. See, there's a reason, Big Mike. You've been very fortunate. Davao is one of the safest cities, not only in the Philippines, but in the world. Okay? But I'm just telling you that it has a travel advisory level 3. Who you think knows more about Davao? The State Department or Big Mike? Okay? And remember, you're just coming back and forth, back and forth. You're not living there for 23 years. But tell those 2 Canadians that got kidnapped over there on Samal Island and got their heads literally chopped off. Okay, how safe it is. All right. I'm just saying. I'm not telling you don't go there, Big Mike and Q. I said I'm not going anymore. I'm telling you what the State Department said. Don't get that mixed up. The State Department says that Mindanao is level 3. All of Mindanao, and then certain areas are level 4. Don't go at all. So if you think you know more than them and you want to keep taking your chances, go ahead. Who am I to tell you how to live your best life? He said, Big Mike, I hear you, but it ain't just minding your own business. You got to keep a low profile and don't be bringing attention to yourself either, bro. This is all true. But these guys are acting like Sunshine Shoulder said don't go down there. Don't you realize that Colombia, you know how popular Colombia is? Medellin, all of them. Cartagena, Bogota, all of them. Don't you know that's a travel advisory level 3? It's always been. But we don't pay any attention to that travel advisory stuff. We know more than everybody else. This is just the American spirit. And we think because it ain't happening. All them people getting killed in Colombia in different ways. But y'all say, well, it's not happening to me, so it doesn't count. Because it doesn't happen to you. That's a foolish way of thinking, man. This is how you end up getting yourself in a jackpot situation. They know more about it than you. I'm just saying. Take your chance if you want. He said, proximity to danger. Don't let your luck run out because you got complacent. This is all I'm saying. Big Mike isn't got too comfortable. Keep running back and forth to Davao like, oh, it's okay. This is what I'm saying. You making my point for me, Mike. And for anybody on here, this is what I'm talking about. We've gotten too damn comfortable over here. Thinking we know more than the government officials. And they got CIA over here in the Philippines. Okay, did you realize that? They didn't just wake up one day and say, okay, let me see. Let's put Mindanao level 4, Cebu level 2. Man, they going on facts, cold hard facts and history over many, many, many years. You guys just don't read. There's been so many innocent foreigners and Americans killed down there in Mindanao, not from kidnapping, but bombs. I remember, man, when I first met my ex-wife in Zamboanga. Because, see, I never knew anything about Mindanao, anything about the Philippines. This is in 2010. And we'd always stay in a hotel or a pension house. Well, her mother was like, I'm concerned. My mother said she wants us to stay with them, right, in the squatter era, because she's concerned for your health. And I'm like, for your safety, rather. I'm like, yeah, right. The very next day, one of the pension houses got blown up. 3 people killed. 2 foreigners. Okay? And that was the last time I stayed in a hotel down there. I start staying in our squatters areas aren't the same. It wasn't anything fancy, but it was very livable. That's why I was staying during the COVID when I started my channel. But they know so much more. See, I didn't know anything. It opened my eyes, and then from that day on, I carried a big weight on my shoulder. Because Zamboanga's a nice place. I said, why did y'all tell me? You know, the less I know, the better off I am. I did not know how dangerous it was down there. I didn't even know the reputation. But once they told me, man, I stayed in that one little general area. And he was like, Cedric was like, yeah, if the woman cares about you, are you safe? Well, yeah, because it's a lot of beautiful places there, certainly beaches, that I would want to go. And my wife was like, no, you can't go there. And when they went to Bosniland, okay, her sister's married to a seaman. And his sister's married to a guy from Bosniland. Well, when I was in America doing their visa, they took my son over there. They wrapped him up like a mummy. Yeah, they wrapped him up like a mummy because they knew. Bosniland, man, that's level 4 with a flashing red light. That's where their headquarters is located. And because they got there one time and got away with it, you think they're going to keep taking him over there, Big Mike? But I'm just saying, guys, you know, you got to use your common sense. We've gotten too comfortable over here. It doesn't mean that this is, you know, the worst place in the world and you're going to get robbed and killed. I'm just saying, guys, we got to be more vigilant. We don't have any guards at all now. We just walk around like this is the safest place on the planet. And it cost them. It cost those two guys. And that's what I'm talking about. It's just so innocent, man. That's what gets me. It affects me more than all those other times when the guy was in the bar not far from here. And, you know, the guy asked him, the two Filipinos were drunk and they asked him for a beer and he didn't do it. They got into an argument and they shot him in the head. You know, that could have easily have been avoided. Just don't go in those bars. But when you're just sitting in your own home, guys, minding your own business, you're relaxing. It's Sunday night. You got your woman next to you. You on the couch. You ain't bothering no damn body. You 73 years old. You're not going to hurt a fly. And somebody kicks your door and shoots you in the head and leaves. No explanation at all. Like, what did I do to deserve this? You guys better be concerned when shit like that happens, man. Gives a fuck about some dating. It pisses me off, man. And they don't even got the decency to tell you. All them big vloggers that live down in Dumaguete, they ain't telling you how dangerous it is in Negros Oriental. Just because it ain't happened to them. The sitting governor was killed down there. At his house. They were getting ready to declare martial law. Not because of that. All the other shit that goes on down there. They won't even tell you. The biggest vloggers in our little genre are all situated down there in Dumaguete. Not one of them would tell you that it's dangerous down there. I'm telling you that it is. Why? Because I know the locals know. The government knows. Okay? Ain't got nothing to do with my knowledge. I got to take for granted that they know what they're talking about. They don't have any reason to tell me it's dangerous there. And it's not dangerous. The people are sitting down there telling you that. Yeah, they shot him and they took nothing. But y'all don't concern. Oh, you like Big Mac? Well, I've been coming over 23 years. Well, it didn't do them two guys, them two Canadian guys. Look it up. They used to have the video on YouTube. They took it down. They cut their necks out with an old rusted, the knife wasn't even sharp. It wasn't like they were in Saudi Arabia where the guy hits you in your damn neck. You know, you don't even know, you don't even feel it. Now, they felt every damn muscle, every damn tendon as it was being cut open. A slow, just terrible way to die. But you think that's going to stop us? from going to Mindanao? No, because we live in some crazy times, man. Human beings, we're crazy. We don't believe shit stinks. It's like the guy said, Rashad, you think that's going to stop the tune-up application? If that didn't stop it, you see this guy's, Big Mike's talking about Davao. Davao's only 8 minutes away from where those guys got kidnapped. It's an 8-minute ferry ride from Davao to Samoa Island, where these guys got kidnapped. Okay, of course they let the Filipino go. They asked for just a crazy ransom. Something just, because the Canadians and Americans claim they don't negotiate with terrorists. That's a lie. They do. Yeah, but you're missing the point, man. But okay, Big Mike. We're not here to argue. We're trying to help each other. Okay? We're just saying that be more vigilant, man. Stop running around the Philippines like you own the place. Like nothing's going to happen to you. And everybody loves you. Okay? That's all we're saying. I agree with you. Okay? But when you're chasing these women, you following these women around, man, this is hard to do. He said, just tuned in from Dumageddon. They popped the guy while he was reclined, meaning he got popped within 20 seconds of entering. Yeah, they didn't take anything, according to the news. They just shot him in the head and left. Like, damn. What did I do to deserve this? It's like neither one of these guys woke up thinking, this is going to be it for me. What's in there? Huh? Yeah, he was. Look this up, man. The sitting governor of Negros Oriental was killed there. At his house, he was giving out, they've got a sort of like a welfare type of system here. And he was giving out, money or whatever it is to his constituents. And they killed some of the constituents. I think like 10 people got killed. But he was a sitting governor. Okay? So if they would hit a sitting governor, what would they do to you down there trying to walk around with your chest poked out like you got something? Like you doing something. We need to be more humble. We need to respect the people here a whole lot more than what we do. We've gotten comfortable, though. We think we're at home. I can act any way I want to act. All the food is warm. Send it back. And all the crazy stuff we do, holding people to the same account as we do somebody at home. That's all. I'm not even trying to solve the case, guys. I'm not trying to solve the case because I have to give the Filipino authorities credit here. They know who's doing this stuff, man. They're going to be on it. You're going to see it. You're going to see they're going to catch them. But then that's when it goes into the black hole and you don't hear nothing else. But they're going to catch the people that did it because Filipinos would tell on you here. They're not like black people with that old penitentiary mentality that we walk around with. I don't want to be called a snitch. Yeah, but you got murderers walking around your neighborhood because you don't want to be a snitch. No, they're going to tell. Okay? You watch what I tell you. In the next few days, they're going to catch both of them. They ain't going to do those guys any good. But here's the thing, though. You in an age gap, but here's the thing, though. Anybody with just one morsel of brain left, hanging from the spinal cord can see that something's going on here. Something ain't right here. You ain't worrying about witnesses. The woman sitting right there, she sees you. You're not worrying about her. And she'll probably give them a fucked up description. A black man, he was a black man. You know, used to be you could get away with that. Just say a black man did it. Well, he look like he's got big lips and big eyes. He's carrying around a 40 ounce of Old English with a damn boombox on his shoulder. You know, they'll get away with that stuff. Oh yeah, this happened to me in Maryland before, but we wasn't in Corone. He said, one of my expat buddies got stuck on Corone for about a week waiting on a ferry. Some spots in the Philippines you can get stuck there for a while. We got stuck in Cebu for a week because of the typhoon, the remnants of the typhoon. And the waves, the ferries wasn't running. We stayed there for a whole week. That's why we didn't go this time. We were invited to go. The guy was going to put us up, and he wanted us to check out this hotel for 2 nights. I said, okay, we'll do it. But then when I heard that typhoon was coming, I said, nah. He said, yeah, the old 70s boombox. Now, this was 80s, guys, when you had to have more than 15D batteries. That thing was, just imagine the crazy times we lived in. It was fun times. I had a guy from DC was on the ship with us. He had one that had a damn turntable on the boombox too. Had the big turntable, and then the 4 had 2 cassettes over here and 2 over here. And the rest was them big ass speakers. And everywhere we go, he'd have that thing out. It didn't matter if it was in Naples, Italy, or Rio de Janeiro. He had that thing out blasting. But you should get away with that in America. A black man did it. Yeah, he does that. But this is a lot of guys, we say this, Q says, now I understand why your friend secretly records his Filipino girlfriend's conversations and translates it through AI. He fears getting set up. See, this is how arrogant we are and how confident we are and how comfortable we become over here. You don't know the language over here at all. You don't understand not one sentence of it. And you let people freely speak their language around you, thinking that they have your best interest in mind when it's a chance that they don't. But this is the situation you put yourself into when you move to a foreign country. You can't make them speak English. Okay, a lot of guys over here, their Filipino wives and girlfriends, I'm telling you this right now, I'm not lying. They cannot speak the language in the house. It has to be English. My ex-wife, the guy she's with in America right now, my son told me. He said, Daddy, we can't speak Messiah in the house. We have to speak English. Because they want to understand what you're saying. What are you talking about, lady? Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to get off here. Because it's time anyway. But whenever you go on a double date, it's you, your wife or your girlfriend, your friend and his wife and girlfriend over here. The ladies start speaking in their language. They're talking about us. Okay? Well, majority of the time, they're talking about us. Asking, how's he treating you? Is he a good man? And different things like that. Or she could be telling her, I'm going to leave this fool. He just don't know it. And, but you don't know it, man, But they sitting there smiling with each other. This is the advantage they have over us, man. It's a big advantage. But we're so arrogant, we're Americans, we don't think that that's an advantage. You're in grave danger, fool, when you can't understand the language. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who's setting you up, when it's going to happen. The only thing that saves us on the dating site and in real life over here is that Filipinos really are good people. The overwhelming majority of them are really good people. They don't have any reason to F you up over. Okay? They're not going to do it. But all it takes is for you to get unlucky one time, guys. This is what makes it so fucked up. You can be living like that guy. Imagine he was a retired professor at Silliman University, one of the top universities in the Philippines. Okay, I made it to the finish line. I'm 73. I'm retired. I'm in my own house. And he ends up pissing somebody off some kind of way. And gets one to the dome. If you're not concerned about that, guys, you don't know where you are, guys. You're dead already. But thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shows. I'm going to talk about the things that matter, guys. Okay? We can talk about the hole in her face tomorrow. We're going to talk about the hole in his head today. If these two murders didn't concern you guys, you got trouble coming. It's coming your way. You can keep on walking around here like you own the place. Okay, and it's a flex. Because you got more than most of the people you're around. You think that's a flex, yeah. Your life is really in danger. He said, man, you need a part two. We'll do it again. We can never talk enough about safety, man. Now y'all can go on back to, to the regular scheduled show now. Bikinis and booties and beaches. Because the minute I cut this off, you're going to forget all about it. They're going to be on there, hey, look at me, the Filipina this, the Filipina that. That wave of bikinis coming across your screen. Oh, here's the best way to meet a Filipina. Here's what they want. Oh, I thought this was normal. Why do Filipinos love older men? And all this old crazy stuff. It's entertainment, guys. I get it. But guess what? You keep on getting entertained, pretty soon, you're going to be getting embalmed.